we're going to record. Welcome everybody to session 4 of our beta playtest of the Mind Merchants of Mars. That was written for the John Carter of Mars role-playing game by Modifius Entertainment. We have our players with us today. Let's see, I'm not so great at this. We have Paula playing Pamelia. We have Katie playing Tanza. Norm playing Chad. Dana playing Zax. And Maxie playing Patterson, our lone Jasumian, an Earthman lost on Mars. Welcome all the players. Just as far as, I'm not sure how much we really have to get into the rules right now, but just basic 101. This is a 2D20 role-playing game, which means that they use a combination of 6 attributes: cunning, daring, empathy, might, passion, and reason. That most actions are going to be what they call a attribute test, where you pick 2 of these that are applicable to that test, whether it's a combat attack or you're investigating a building, and you're going to then use those. Who's making that noise?
Oh, that's my husband practicing violin.
Oh, is there any way we could close the door, or that's really loud?
Sorry. Yeah, he can go into another room.
That would be really appreciated. Tell him thank you very much.
They really liked it, though.
Now get out. So with these attribute tests, you choose 2 attributes, you combine their value to make a target number, and then you roll 2 d20s. Anything that is equal or below that number, the target number, is deemed a success. Successes in excess of what you need to pass a test, which is governed by difficulty, which is 1 is your normal difficulty, and then it goes up. 2 is challenging, 3 is super difficult, and 4 is getting close to impossible. Any successes above and beyond that difficulty number generate what we call momentum. And momentum is the key narrative tool in this system. Momentum becomes something that you, the player, can spend to increase your odds of succeeding in a test, or do more damage to opponents, or even heal yourself, or add something to the narrative that's in your favor. So momentum's really wide open in a lot of ways. And it acts, for those of you who play Dungeons & Dragons, it acts very similarly to inspiration. Although we have another form of something else that's useful that we call luck, that is in fact closer to inspiration. And luck is, you'll start off with the amount of luck that is equal to your lowest attribute value. And I think everyone still has their luck up there, right? From last time.
Although Patterson appears to be missing.
Ooh, yeah. Have you? Goodness. Okay. Good point.
But I think the red chap is there, and he doesn't need to be, because I think or was he with us? I can't remember.
Yeah, we don't see Hat in there either. Okay. And since we're not taking in any other people. Okay. Yeah, you're logged in as Had.
No.
Right. So how do I? How can I change that?
Yeah, that's very easy. Go into your settings and change your display name to Patterson.
We'll just do it that way.
So your display name is, again, on the right-hand side of your screen in the dialog box. It's the little cog or gear icon to the far right. And again, for you folks who get annoyed by my sound effects, that is also where the master volume level is set. So if you don't like the sound effects, you can easily turn them down or turn them completely off if you don't like them. Do you see it, Max? Yes, you do, and you successfully changed it, so that's fantastic. Anybody else with actually Roll20 kind of questions? Or maybe we'll get to that after we finish talking about luck.
I just exited the game completely by accident, but I'll be back in a second.
Okay. No problem. So luck is actually really more like super duper inspiration if you're a D&D person. Luck you can use in many different ways. The most common way is to use a point of luck to give you a guarantee auto success in a test. It basically is the equivalent of rolling a 1. So when you roll in these attribute tests, if you roll a 1, it's considered kind of a critical success. So instead of 1 success, you get 2 from it. When you use a luck, again, it's like the equivalent of rolling a 1. You get 2 successes. So luck is very good that way. Luck can also be used to heal a full pool of stress if you're badly damaged or who's banging? What's
I do not
happening?
know.
Probably, sorry, it's probably on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you guys just turn off your mics if there's something like that going on behind you, okay? It's just
No.
it comes over really loud. No offense to anybody.
Well, so far, my cat is ignoring me.
Okay. And now I forgot where I was. We were talking about luck. Okay. So lucky, you can use luck and momentum to heal you if you ended up getting injured, and we'll deal with that probably if we come to a combat situation. So I won't get too far into it. Luck can also give you an opportunity to influence the story, which means if you want to pull out and use a luck point, which you have there, and you can see on the screen that we have the luck tokens, you could actually say, hey, I want to use my luck token and I want to change something or add a detail. For example, if you're, say you're falling from a cliff, you want to use your luck token to see if you can grab onto an outcropping of rock or something like that. It's a tool to add to the narrative. So be really creative. I encourage you guys to think out of the box. If you have an idea, put it forward, and then we can discuss whether it's applicable or not. So luck, momentum are the two key things that help the players create opportunities in the game. Okay.
Or you could use their luck to determine if you can pull a giant marshmallow out of thin air to fall on top of.
That's a possibility. And so as far as the gameplay, so what I as the game master have is something that's just called threat, but it acts just like momentum. Okay. As far as Roll20, again, the master volume's under the settings to the right. To the left, the far left, you have this wonderful toolbar, and in it, you have your dice roller. So I just want to make sure we just go over, just real briefly, because we'll use it a lot, as you guys know. We go over to the dice roller. It pops up a window that's called Dice Roller. We scroll down, and we always use the advanced roll settings. Okay, who's using the microwave?
Not me.
Mute the mic, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God.
You
Okay.
have good hearing. I don't know who's using it either.
Okay, so again, advanced rolls. You're going to look at roll. You're going to select the number of D20s. So make sure you select D20 as your standard dice rolling. In this system, we use only D20s, and then for damage, we use 1D6s, okay? Or D6s. You're going to choose how many. Your base D20 that you're going to use is always at least 2 because it corresponds to your attributes that you're doing the test with, and those always default to at least 2 attributes. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see target number. Again, you're going to put the little sideways V with the mouth open to the right of your screen because you want a result that's going to be equal or less than your target number. So on the screen, I've just popped in a target number of 12. And then when I press roll, we see the nice 3D dice there, and it tells me if I've had any successes of my roll that are less than 12. Okay, so cool. That's how the dice roller works. Everyone refreshed your memory? Everyone okay with that?
Got it.
All right, cool. Anyone want to bring up any questions before we get into the action? Questions, concerns? Silence means no. All right, last time you guys made it through the Banff Cavern, and you discovered a teleportation device thanks to Zax's mechanical engineering ability, and you all jumped on that teleportation device and ended up in this strange ancient chamber, and you had revived, and I can't remember her name, but a white Ovarian woman who seemed to be who appeared to be from the distant past, from a now deserted city called Kovar.
And then she disintegrated to dust.
Yes, she
Kovar.
disintegrated. You found her in a suspension capsule and revived her, and she traveled through the caverns with you, came on the teleportation platform. As soon as she stepped off, she crumbled into dust. And all that remains...
I'm eroding!
Exactly. And right here, this nice little skull, that's her dead body. Now, has everybody been able to find themselves on screen? Because most of it's blocked out because of fog of war, but have you found
right.
Yep.
Right now, I just see 2 red dice.
Okay, so make sure you use your, right by the dialogue box on the right-hand side of your screen, just to the upper left is that little toolbar that looks like a volume up and down, and that changes your zoom in, zoom out. So zoom out until you can find the actual little area that is revealed in that blob of black. You'll see that there's a teleportation device and your tokens there.
I see.
So zoom out until you can see it, and then make the adjustments by zooming back until you can get it to a size you're happy with.
I got 80%, so just let me double check. 50% maybe. Oh.
Everybody else see it, or just Dana? Do you see it?
I kind of see some characters, yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're starting.
It's a very small area.
Yes, exactly. So we got fog of war on, so that it's going to be a surprise where you are and how you get to where you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So anybody that can't see your tokens, and again, just use the zoom to adjust how big it is, and then your directions to fit it on the screen to a place that you're each happy with. If anyone can't, if you haven't found it, please speak up and let me know. Because I want you to be able to see where you are and your surroundings on the map.
Well, I did have it, but it's gone again.
Just keep zooming out.
Yeah. Oh, there we are.
Okay. Paula, Dana, Norm, where are we at?
Yeah.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, good.
Okay, great. So everyone sees the skull. That is your dead lady friend. And she, so there's a pile of basically dust, and all her accoutrements. So her expensive headdress that was bedazzled and bejeweled with diamonds, her not her harness, well, the metal and the jewels from her harness, because obviously the leather would have disintegrated as well. So they're all there in her little pile. And before we get started, I just want to add that I want to dedicate this episode to a dear friend of mine that passed away last night from cancer. And she was, her name was Lorraine Umbers, and her husband Paul does a lot of stuff for Star Trek Adventures with Modifius. And I just want to dedicate this session to her. She went with me to get my John Carter tattoo that's on my leg, and she introduced me to the board game Catan. So I hope she's okay, and loving memory, and all our thoughts and prayers are with her family. Okay.
So sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
Me too. It's been a rough month.
And I love Catan as well.
What does your tattoo look like?
It's like the cover of it's the Michael Whalen cover of the 11th book in the Barsoom series, with them flying on the giant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it colored or just black and white?
It's colored, but the guy who did it did a shitty job. But I tried. $1,400 down the tubes, and it looks like crap. But that's okay. It's still John Carter with Dejah Thoris behind him flying through the sky. Okay, so as you can see, thanks for indulging me on that, guys. As you can see, you are on the teleportation pad. You can see over here a little bit of a hint of a stairway behind you and a corridor ahead of you on this side.
Tanza goes up to. Can I do emotion?
You're going to do what? Sorry?
Can I do emotion?
Oh, yeah. You guys aren't in combat, so you guys can go ahead and roleplay any which way you see fit.
Okay. Well, Tanza, she feels a great deal of remorse that, this beautiful woman she could have had, she was displaced from her own time. She could have reintegrated into this time. Wouldn't have been that hard because culture on Barsoom doesn't seem to change that fast. It's not like waking up 1,000 years displaced, on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So Tanza, bring her over. She actually kneels down and basically does whatever the Barsoomian equivalent is of crossing yourself.
Aww, that's nice.
Basically, I don't know what the equivalent is, so you can just sort of make up your own. Use your own imaginations. But she basically, sort of kneels down and says a prayer of, may thy spirit rest in the halls of thy ancestors or something. And then because she is attracted by shiny, and she does kind of look over some of the belongings and kind of sees, because it is pretty common you give stuff to people who, the dead have no more need of their belongings, especially the disintegrated.
Right, and again, she does have her headdress. Yeah. The jewels.
She picks up a bracelet, a jeweled bracelet with this woman's sort of emblem of her house, and sort of puts it around her ankle, and as sort of a tribute to the departed.
Okay. Well, she also had in that pile of metal things a sword, a short sword, a dagger, and all of them are quite unusual in that they all are bedazzled with diamonds and precious gems. So we have the headdress, the various jewels from the harness that are loose and on the floor in the debris of her mortal remains, a short sword, a dagger. That's it.
I'm well armed, so I turn to anybody else and say, "Does anybody else need a weapon?" I think I have a full complement.
I want to emphasize that these are not ordinary weapons, okay, guys? These are weapons that are going to be worth a lot of money because they're made for basically a princess of the city of Corvas, and so they're richly decked out. They're going to be worth a lot of chichinga.
Can I ask, is it technically a time of war at the moment, or is it sort of just bits and sort of broken down conflicts?
Well, this is going to be the time of the Jedak of Jedaks, so I don't think there's any major wars going on, but with Barsoom, there's always intercity conflict here and there in different regions. But is there an all-out war between Helium and any particular adversary right now? Not particularly. So this is this is a couple decades after the sacking of Zodanga that occurred at the end of Princess of Mars, that is from the Dotar, what's his name? Dotar Sajat?
Jodar Sajat, yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
from that era.
I know it well. The only sorry, carry on.
Oh no, so this is Carthoris is an adult. This is past Thuvia, Maid of Mars. This is past so it's kind of I don't know if I explained that well enough, but yes.
I only asked because for an Earth soldier to take items off a dead body during wartime would be a big no-no. but as it's kind of different, slightly different surroundings, and she's not a soldier, I guess he's just going to overlook it.
Well, would it be? Well, it depends on your culture. I mean, sometimes it's considered a sign of respect to take a memento, and like in the Lord of the Rings, for instance, Aragorn actually takes Boromir's leather gauntlets and wears them throughout the rest of the Two Towers of the King, sort of as a sign of respect for his friend.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking more of sort of a World War I soldier, especially later in the Second World War. The Japanese really looked down on that sort of thing. But anyway, like I say, it's not too important. I was just wondering how he would react. So I'm going to kind of wander forward just a little bit.
Okay. And just before we leave this particular area, Zax, Pamela, and Chad, did any of you want to do anything as far as the corpse of, as we see there with her name, Kalai Hantor, the sister of the Jadica Corvus? I can never pronounce these things. Zax.
I'd like to take a look at the weaponry and whatnot that remains, and also investigate it to see if there's any hidden mechanics or something beyond kind of the bling.
I love
we're
it.
Dealing with some old technology.
Yes, so go ahead and let's roll an investigation check, for want of a better word, and I think we're doing reason for that and passion for your curiosity.
Would it be worth rolling a trap-related test of some sort?
Well, no, you guys. Well, yeah, you could. You don't know.
Because I'm thinking there could be a trap in some of the items, right? Because I do have a thieves, I do have that ability to do a trap-related test.
Sure. Do you want to go and volunteer to do that?
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I always like to do that when something weird. I can't remember what I've used.
Be the sacrificial victim.
Okay.
What does your talent add to your check, Chad?
It's one of the thieves' tools. It's trap-related test. Now, I actually don't know where that would fit in my what I would roll. 2d20, right?
Right. So it's going to be an item. So +1 to reason for picking locks and trap related. So add the +1 to your target number.
Okay. So would it be cunning and empathy?
It would be passion and reason. Passion being your curiosity, reason being your technical kind of.
So that's 11, then plus I had 1, so it's 12.
Yep.
So it would be 2d20, right?
Yeah, 2d20 with your target number being 12.
Oh shoot! I shouldn't.
Yeah, let's re-roll that because you just rolled a 20.
I know.
So make sure you have 2.
I probably 2d20, and then I want plus 11 near there, right?
No, you're going to have 2 d20, and then under target number, you're going to make sure that arrow is pointing the narrow part to the left, the wide part to the right, and plug in 12.
12.
Because you get the +1 for your lock picking.
Okay, so
or thieves tools. There you go. That's better.
That looks like a 12, and then I got a 9.
Yeah, so DC is just 1, so you got 1 success. No momentum generated.
Okay.
Okay, and good thing you did that, because on the dagger, there seems to be a little button that if it isn't like a safety, if it's not pushed in, then it looks like there would have been a smaller blade that would have ejected into the palm of whoever grabbed that dagger.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like the lawgiver from.
Yes, the sword is fine, and the headdress and the other jewels are fine.
What the?
So, you've checked it. Chad's checked it. Went through it. Hands over some of the items to Zax to also examine. You want to roll, Zax, for your inspection of the weapons and whatnot?
You're talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Zax.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
no problem. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at it. I'm going to spend one momentum to roll an extra die, and I'm assuming that because we don't know if there's anything mechanical related to it, that I'm not getting my +2 on that at this point in time.
What do you mean you're +2?
Well, I get for mechanical repair, manipulation, reasoning, I get a +2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, again, just make sure you guys tell me where you're getting these things from, because I haven't memorized all your talents, because you each have about 4 or something each, and my old brain doesn't work that well. So,
You're not
yeah.
that old.
No, I think this is more like a knowledge check, Zax. So go ahead and roll it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Even with a momentum, 0. Nice.
Okay. Now, let's just remember we're going to be tracking using the momentum tokens. So this is what we have on the screen is what you guys had at the end of last session. We're just going to keep those and continue forward, because as far as I'm concerned, we're still in the scene. So Dana did a great thing. It's hard to discard these things except by picking one up and throwing it onto the map. And when you throw it onto the map, I will just go ahead and delete it. So that's how we're just going to take them off your pile. And to actually get one, you're going to click on the momentum card deck, which is to the right of your screen, and you're just going to deal yourself one. So you click on that, you put the number of cards you're going to get dealt, and you press deal, and it should then give it to your pile. So let's try and use that. Okay, so no successes. Yeah, it's really just a very fine example of weaponry and the craftsmanship of that era. Priceless, actually. You've never seen weapons that fine. And the headdress itself is opulent, to say the least.
I like the balance of the short sword, so I'm just going to hold on to it and keep it.
Okay. Pamela.
I want to do a check on the jewelry to see what type of noble house she came from.
Okay, please go for it. So again, curiosity and reason. Unless you have something else.
Reason killed the cat. Oh wait.
So again, just set up the dice roller.
Okay.
Make sure you're using D20s. Put the number of D20s. I don't see. The only people I see that have momentum are Chad and Zax. Everybody has a lot of luck, so don't be afraid to use luck. Because luck can be earned back just like inspiration by good role play, stuff like that.
Okay. Now a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does luck need to be announced before I roll, or can it be done after I roll?
No, luck and momentum use all need to be announced before you use them.
Okay, just wanted to make
Yeah, they
clarification.
can't be used retroactively. And also, I'm glad you brought that up, because it reminds me, you are limited to the number of momentum in your pool that equals your lowest attribute score. Okay. So I think for Pamela, you're limited to 4 momentum in your pool.
Yeah.
Tanza 5, Chad 4, Had 5, Zax 3, Patterson 4. If you generate more momentum in your turn than what you can handle in your personal pool, you can either use it in that turn, or you can give it to someone else before the end of your turn. If you don't do either of those, that excess amount gets discarded.
Okay.
And also, at the end of every round in combat, everyone loses 1 momentum. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. Go ahead and roll it. Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Did you want to keep it?
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay, so you guys all have the ability to edit your character sheets. So if you're adding these pieces of equipment, then just click on your character sheet, click on edit, and just go ahead and type in a note under your core equipment. Add the items. So add Callahan Tor's headdress, short sword. And does anyone want to take the miscellaneous gems?
Oh,
I'm still okay.
yeah. Sorry. If you want to take them, go ahead. It wouldn't be my character wouldn't really want them, so.
Okay. Well,
just,
and Tanza, you just go ahead and put. Even though I hadn't planned on a bracelet, you can go ahead and add the bracelet to your equipment.
Okay.
And then make sure you
It's
guys.
not a very equipment-y bracelet. It's just decorative.
That's fine. So after you do that, add in that note under your equipment. Scroll all the way down and make sure you save it. Okay. And I'm going to I'm really going to lean on you guys to track your own equipment. Okay, so I think we've kind of resolved all of the dearly departed's possessions. And we have Patterson moving up forward. And let me just clear that up so we can see what Patterson sees. And Pattern comes into what appears to be a fairly large chamber. That's very old. That seems to have these weird triangular, small pyramid-like structures. Piles of rubble. There also appears to be a ladder that goes up to some sort of second level. And there also appears to be an entrance to a hallway. So, can you see all that, folks? You can see the ladder here. You can see the hallway here.
Yep.
Okay, everyone good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Now, I just want to point out that there was a staircase behind you, folks. Patterson, you've moved up. This is what you see. What do you do?
Okay, so I've seen a ladder, and where else is there that I could potentially go? Just
Sure.
2 pyramids. Hello.
There's a hallway here.
Yep.
There's the ladder here. And then there's three pyramid-like structures.
So I'll wander over, if I may, to about here.
Okay.
And I'll call the others over.
And,
Ladies, gentlemen.
And I think by now, because it took John Carter about a week to understand Barsoom, you are, let's say, fluent with very basic vocabulary and everything.
Oh, yes, I remember. Ladies, gentlemen, I suggest you come and have a look at this.
Okay, so I come over.
Okay, sounds good.
Or words to that equivalent.
So go ahead and move your token sheet, everybody. Ooh. And make sure you have your arrow on the top left-hand toolbar clicked for select. Because someone's drawing pictures. And
that would be.
Don't worry, I'll get rid of those pictures. But yeah, make sure you have your arrow.
Modern art.
Don't mess with Vicky's map. Okay. And I'll bring Hat over.
Tanza shudders seeing the piles of skulls. Those are skulls, right?
Nope, that's rubble.
Oh, okay, those are just rocks.
Just rocks. And again, there's dust and dirt all over the floor. This seems to be a very ancient chamber. There's not a whole lot of light. There's very dim light emanating from these pyramids. A very dim kind of golden glow. And actually, Pamela, as you come closest to the one smaller pyramid, you can kind of feel a ripple of like static energy against your skin the closer you get to it. And any of you that get to the other 2 pyramids, you'll feel the similar sensation. And almost like a kind of a semi-audible hum of energy in the room.
Okay. So Zax would like to do a mechanical check on the small pyramid.
Good idea.
Okay.
Very good idea. I like this.
Great. Now you get your +2.
Okay, woohoo.
Cool.
That's good because I sucked my other rolls. And just for the kicks, I'm also going to add a momentum to this.
Okay, so you're checking the smallest one. Okay, for sure. So roll 3d20 using your momentum roll to buy the extra third. Okay. Did you put one success, but you rolled 220? Two 20s. 2 20s means one complication for each.
Oh my god.
Crap. Okay.
Yeah. And again, with complications, if I can't think of a good complication, then the option is for me to, as game masters, take 2 threats instead of giving you a complication. A complication is something that adds to the difficulty of the situation. What would be something really good? Oh, describe to me how you were investigating that, by the way, Dana.
So I had kind of walked a perimeter around it, and I was kind of leaning, over to see if it was maybe a little bit opaque, to see if there was any kind of mechanics, within it, and and just kind of reached out my left hand and tried to touch it.
Okay. I'm going to zap you. I'm going to zap you. I'm going to use the complications are going to be as soon as you touch it, you're going to get zapped with a rip of golden kind of lightning charge at you. So for each complication, I'm going to roll 1d6, and let's see if any damage is done.
It's one of the nicest things a woman's ever said to him.
So again, for just a refresher, and I guess maybe I'll post it here.
Patterson, that was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
Thank you. Let Vic carry on.
So that should be 3 damage and 1 effect.
Yep. So I'm just posting it on, showing everybody for the sake of our viewing audience, if anybody watches, that we look down here in our damage table, and that's how we get it. We roll the 2, so it's worth 2 damage, and the 6 is worth 1 damage plus an effect. And the effect is going to be, electrical burn. So that's going to equal 1 more damage, so it's going to be 4 damage in total. Because this is a physical touch base action, it's going to be injury stress. So again, talking about stress, everybody has different stress pools on their character sheets. And again, part of why we're doing this, not just to teach ourselves, but also to teach whoever might be listening. I don't know if anyone listens to these, but maybe they might. But under Zax's, this shows Zax's character sheet there. Under Zax's character sheet, we see that Zax has, for wounds, you have a 7 limit. Those are 7 stress points. And so you'll take 4. So you'll have 3 left. Now again, just a reminder how we're tracking stress. So I'm really glad you did this, actually, Zax, because you can click onto your token, and hopefully you have the bubbles come up where you can adjust your injury. And the injury is the red bubble.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, and just to refresh everybody else, just so remember, when you click on your tokens, you should have those 3 round bubbles that come up. Injury is red, fear is blue, green is confusion. Okay, and you are now you are thrown against the wall, and you're kind of like dazed and confused, and you're slumped on the floor, lying prone, if that's okay. But you did get 1 success. And from what little you gathered from it, these are some kind of power generating mechanism that seems to feel what little light there is, the few radium bulbs that are in there. It seems to have been some kind of power generating facility.
Okay. as I'm lying groggy on the floor, I try to say, "Don't touch that."
Okay, that's Zach's. So we had Zach's, Patterson, Tanza kind of come in. Pamela came in. I think, did you do anything, Pamela? And then Chad, who wants to do something next?
Oh.
So somebody's lying stunned on the ground, right?
Zach's, our wonderful firstborn air flyer captain.
I'm going to go over to him and see if he's all right. Basically, see if there's any sort of first aid. That's what it's called. First aid for the firstborn. Ha ha ha.
Sorry, so wait, where do we know where this zap of gold lightning came from?
It came from the pyramid that Zach's touched. So as soon as Zach's laid his hand upon it, the lightning energy shot through him and threw him against the wall and zapped him.
I'll run over too.
And just so you know, you guys can use an action, Tanz, if you want to help heal Zach's, to help them recover the stress, you can absolutely do that. You can roll an empathy and reason at a DC of 1 to see if you want to just kind of like help them recover from that.
My dear boy, are you all right? Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. See, empathy and reason.
Empathy and reason DC of 1. So
mine's 12. Empathy and reason.
7 plus 5 is 12. So 1d20?
No, you're going to use 2d20 with a target of 12, with a difficulty of 1. And we're just going to have the one person do this attempt, if that's okay.
Sure, okay.
Damn building must be cursed.
2 successes. Great. So, Tanza, you help bring Zach to, you help him to his feet. You have a little pouch full of healing slab or whatever that you got from the slave trader's wagon. Slab, whatever. Slav, whatever. And you rub it on his electrical burns to help heal. And so if you could go ahead and roll 2d6 to see how many... No, just wait. You had 1 success. Okay, you had 2 successes, so give Zach take back 2 stress. Add 2 stress back into your pool for the healing from Tanza.
Great. And Tanza gets 1 momentum.
Yes. So go ahead, Tanza, click on the momentum card deck to the right and deal yourself 1 momentum, please. And job well done.
Good.
Okay.
Fantastic. Huzzah! We love when these things work. Patterson, what were you saying to your dearly Zap friend?
I said, dear lords, the thing must be cursed. Don't touch it again.
But it's so shiny.
I hear tales of similar buildings on my planet having curses and booby traps, but I've never seen it with mine own 2 eyes.
Oh, of course, referring to the King Tut thingy, which would have been excavated around that time.
Zach says, there is no curse. That's a power source. We need to give it respect, but there's no voodoo here.
I'm sorry, these technologies are still new to me, but I'll bow to your expertise. Well, the main thing is we get back to our respective homes, but we're hundreds, if not thousands of miles from there, I take it.
Feel free to roleplay as you guys will. Otherwise, I'm just going to say that Chad hasn't done anything yet.
Hello?
Chad, did you want to do anything? You've seen everybody get zapped. You're kind of standing by the ladder. Did you want to do anything?
I'm thinking about going up the ladder.
Okay.
I think I'd like to use a luck thing for that.
Okay. Cool.
So you take this luck and then put it over here.
Did you want to tell anyone that you're going to do that, or are you just going to wander off?
I think I'm going to tell everybody. Let's try climbing up the ladder, people. I want to move forward.
I'm sure that would be a great idea.
Oh, I'm sure until a whole bunch of bad stuff happens to me, right? I think so. Let's use a luck. So for me to use a luck, do I click on that and then?
Yeah, just click on the luck and it should pull off one and just put it onto the map anywhere and I'll clean it up.
Okay.
So you've got 4 luck now. Just click and drag 1 luck and there you go.
There you go. So now I use 3d20.
Yep.
Now for climbing up the ladder.
It's going to be might because you're being physical and pulling your weight up. And daring because that will be movement, I think. And if anyone wants to throw out other possible combos, please do.
Daring, that would be 10.
Okay.
3d20 on a 10 target.
Okay, and your luck will... Now, here's the thing about luck.
Yeah.
When you use luck in an attribute test, it is an automatic critical success. It's like rolling a 1. So you get, without having to roll anything, 2 successes.
I got 2 successes.
Yeah. You get 2 successes. Now, you can choose as the player to roll the rest of the attribute test, but you risk rolling a 12 and getting a complication, much like Zach's did. But because you already have enough successes, you can choose not to roll and just go off your luck.
So if it's 2 successes, then I go up the ladder, then, right?
Yeah, your DC would just be 1 if you...
Okay, let's do that then. Let's use those 2 successes ladder then.
Okay. And then you're going to just say no to rolling. Don't take the risk of getting a complication.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and move your character up to the top of the ladder.
Yeah. There's probably a whole bunch of characters up here waiting for me, I'm sure.
I sound...
By the way, what's all this stuff around this platform? Is this just empty space?
Yes, if it doesn't have the little... It's part of the drawing, so if it's just a beige with nothing on it, then... These little... You see these right here? That's just the guy who made the map. It says www.elvintower. So that's nothing.
Oh, okay.
You can just ignore those, because I stole that from his website.
Okay.
But so I gave him a like.
Space. So you go to the edge of the mat, so you go to the edge of the platform, and you just fall off and you probably die.
Alvin Tower, right?
Yep. He does really interesting maps. I like it because he does these kind of different level maps. So Chad, you get up to the top of the ladder and you see some rubble.
Yeah.
But you see a corridor going down.
Yeah. So I guess I let the people know, like, well, hey, up here there's a bunch of rubble. What are those 2 brown marks? They're like bigger rocks?
Yeah, bigger rocks. Little rocks, bigger rocks. It actually
because
looks
they don't see that. They actually don't see this, right? So I have to explain it to them. That's what there is. There's a bunch of rubble, right?
Yep.
Hey, there's a whole bunch of rubble up here, and there's a... Who knows where it goes? You want to come up? Join me?
I'll go up.
Pamela, did you want to do anything? I'm just trying to make sure everyone gets screen time.
Yeah. I'm just going to observe the area and kind of just kind of wait and check things out.
Okay, when you say wait and check things out, be specific, please. What are you doing?
Sure. I'm being vigilant. I feel like there might be something to attack us or something like that.
Okay, so are you exploring the room a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and do an investigation check of the rest of the room for me, please?
Sure.
And chances before you get up the ladder, we're going to roll it, but let's just let Pamela finish her task first, okay, guys?
That'd be reason and cunning.
Well, cunning is when you're trying to hurt somebody else, so an attack or insult. So that's why I keep defaulting to passion for your curiosity.
Yeah. Okay. So passion, reason.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Let's just finish with Pamela's investigation first.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll it.
2 successes.
Fantastic. And you do find something. Let me just bring it up for you. As you go about the room and you're kind of walking around the different, the other pyramids, you find on the easterly pyramid this. I'm not sure if you can see it. I don't see my thing coming up on anything. Let me try this.
I see it.
Oh, yep.
There you go.
It's that same symbol that we saw.
What is that? Looks like a Celtic symbol.
Okay, so you see that symbol. Did you want to tell anybody? Did you want to look at it?
I look at it and tell everybody that there's a symbol on this pyramid for some reason.
Okay. And you recall that it was the same symbol as Zach just mentioned. It's the same symbol that was on the hatch that you found out in the Badlands. And you only needed one success, so please give yourself a momentum.
Okay.
I'm tracking momentum in the chat, so if there's momentum earned, I'll chat it in.
Oh, that's
so I'm
fabulous.
not disrupting the narrative. But we have actually just gone through a complete cycle with everybody moving at least once, which means that we lose our at one momentum.
Well, that's going to be for a round for combat.
Okay, so we're just accruing until we hit combat. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody want to deal with anything from that symbol that Pamela has now found and discovered and communicated to you guys? If not, we'll move on to Tanza climbing the ladder.
Okay. I was thinking if it's going to be interesting, if this is kind of the same spidey sense that Patterson was getting last time with like going back to like the thing, maybe Tanza being like all curious and everything should climb down and sort of see what's going on.
Well, you never got up because we weren't on your turn yet.
Oh, okay.
We were doing Pamela. Remember I said hang on to climbing up the ladder because we'll have to have you roll it. Do you guys want to set an initiative order for this role play so we don't get so confused so everyone has a turn?
It might be better. I don't know.
Would that be helpful for everyone?
Possibly, especially with the fact that I think some of us are experiencing a little lag as well on the. So sometimes we'll kind of clash into each other because of lag as well. So I think with that and the fact we're quite a big group, it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have everybody roll 1d20, and we'll do it from we'll still D&D rules, the highest to the lowest for order of initiative. Okay. Okay.
I don't know why I just rolled twice, but you just pick one.
Okay. Do you guys just want to? I'm just writing this down. Okay, just Pamela, what did you get?
15.
Zax?
15.
Oh man, can you guys re-roll between each other to see the highest will go first? Patterson?
13.
Chad?
19.
Oh, nice roll. Tanza?
No, 19.
Tanza.
Okay.
What did you roll of those two? What's the higher one of your two?
9.
Okay. And back to Pamela and Zax. Who won the roll off?
Zax.
Zax. Okay, so Zax is there. Okay. We've got Chad first, then Zax, then Pamela, then Patterson, and then Tanza bringing it up. Okay. So let's start then with Chad at Wonderful 19. You're at the top of the ladder. You did hear Pamela shout out that she found the symbol.
Okay. Now, now is this blocking the whole hallway? These rocks? Like for me, or can I step over?
No, you can clamber over them.
Well, I can climb over them. Okay.
Yeah. And again, the light in these chambers are dim.
Dim, so I really can't see too far.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have night vision. Unfortunately,
I think I should wait. I think I should wait here in case either something bad happens down below. Wait for people to join me.
Okay, so you want to just put your action on hold? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my action on hold now.
Okay, let's do Zach's.
Zach's asks Pamalia, is that same symbol on the headdress that you're holding?
Check my headdress for that. Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you roll? No, there was no. They don't match at all. I won't even make you do a roll.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the core of his stuff is ancient Barsoomium. This symbol is completely unknown.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Zax walks over and, leaving a respectful distance, takes a look at the. I don't want to touch it. I just want to kind of walk the perimeter and look at it.
Come on, touch it, touch it, touch it. You know you want to touch it.
No, I really don't.
That whole conversation was rather strange.
Okay. Okay, so
Did you roll
20?
Another 20. Okay. Wow.
You need to do that a different day, the 20s.
I know, and tomorrow I'm gonna just blow chunks. Like,
I know. Yeah, you'll have ones tomorrow.
All right. You have one success, so you don't generate any momentum, but you do get a complication.
Does that mean to be sick?
Goodness. So what you do realize is through your examination that you realize that the energy that it's producing is the same energy that generated or powered the transporter platform. And it seems to be emitting not through any underground conduits or anything, but through the air. And that's why you folks can feel it on your skin, and like a low humming too. It's a physical sensation because the energy's been projected to the transporter platform, to the tall triangular things here on the transporter pad. I'm having a real problem. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a real problem with my interface. But anyway, see these little triangle pads?
Yeah.
And it's rippling through the air. And your knowledge of mechanics and of energy use is that is not good for your bodies to physically be in this room for very long with the energy going through the air like that, being wirelessly connected to the transporter pad.
Let's get the hell out of here then.
And as far as the complication, yeah, I'm gonna just roll it as a damage thing against you, because you've been the closest and you've touched one of these things, and so you've had more exposure to it. So there you go. Sorry. 2 stress, and take it off your injury stress, which is the red bubble.
Okay.
Sorry. Quit rolling 20s, Dana.
I know. Okay, so that takes me back down to 3.
Okay.
A different system, that would be fantastic.
Okay, and I just kind of quickly relay my findings. We're going to get fried by this thing. We gotta get out of here.
Ooh, if we're gonna get fried, we should bring out some potatoes or some marshmallows.
Yeah, let's have some s'mores.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And Zach's face palms.
Okay, Pamela.
Hearing that, I'm going to go down this corridor.
Okay, move yourself.
Do a check. There.
Okay, and let me reveal what she sees in this dim light.
Oh.
You see Pamelia. On the side here, you will see along the walls seem to appear to be bookshelves. There seems to be a wreckage of old stone tables that have crumbled in the rest of the room. And there we go. So it seems to be something that maybe was a library or study area in the past.
Okay.
And if you guys recall that your dead, beautiful ovarian lady did say that this was a place that she had come in her youth to study. So that's Pamelia's turn. If that's okay with you, and Patterson.
Right. So what's going on? Is there much more to explore up the ladder, or is he giving the impression that there's not much more up there?
All I see is rubble on about 20 yards, maybe. It looks like 30 yards.
Do you think there would be any advantage in clearing that rubble?
Well, it looks like from the map, I'm just looking at the left side of the map. It looks like there's stairs over there that actually might.
You're metagaming. Your character doesn't see that.
Oh, sorry. I don't.
Oh, right. Let me jump up there and take a look with you. I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
Huzzah! Let's use. So that's going to be what, might and daring.
Yep.
Right on.
So give me just a second. It's been a while since I've used this system, but I'll be right with you.
So again, we're going to do 2d20 with your target number with might and daring.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, that's very good if I remember actually.
8 and 8, so 16.
Yeah, it is indeed. So target number.
I'm going to make it, if you don't mind, I'm going to make it a DC of 2 to see if you can leap up without hitting Chad.
So do I have to do anything else?
Nope. 2d20 with target number 16. Wow, you rolled a 20. Oh my gosh, Max, that was terrible.
Apparently, I rolled 3 times as well for some reason. I rolled a 14, a 20, and a 17. I was only supposed to roll twice, but I don't know what happened there. Maybe I just knock him over or go about halfway in.
I think that's probably a good complication. You make the leap, you jump up, but you kind of unfortunately bounce into Chad. Chad, can you do and in D&D I'd say dexterity saving throw, but in this case,
a D6.
No, we're gonna do your daring. And what else would be good? Daring plus might. Let's do daring plus might to see if Patterson jumping and knocking into you makes you fall.
10. So is that a one D20 or 2D20?
Okay, again, we're only using D20s and D6s in this system. So you're going to be using 2D20, and your target number is going to be your daring for movement and your might for being able to hold your ground. So that's going to be 10 is your target number.
Okay, so I got one failure and 1 success.
Okay, so with that, Patterson, you jump up, you knock into Chad. He's able to hold his ground, but you fall back down to the ground, okay? For the complication?
All the way back down?
All the way back down. And I was just looking at falls. And they are in the... Okay, so let's see. So that fall's just going to be a near fall. So you're going to just go ahead and roll a 1d6 to see if you get any damage to that.
It's funny, in some games you really want to roll 20.
Yeah. So without let's just say you take two stresses. So you get the one from being a 6 and then an effect, and the effect's going to be the blunt force of hitting the ground. So 2 stresses off of your injury stress pool, which is your red bubble, please. And you fall flat on your ass or your back.
Oh,
Right
dear.
before Tanza's feet.
Who
Oh, dear.
kind of who crosses her arms, sort of leans on one hip a bit, and just sort of gives him a look like, "Oh, what a silly human! Is this so good looking, and yet is this really the same race as that of our great warlord?"
Must be the rippling energy in here messing with my dexterity.
That's what they all say.
Okay, so Tanza,
How do I-
it's actually your turn. I'm sorry, Max, did you have a question?
I was just trying to change it, but the red, it seems to be not allowing me to.
Yeah, you should be able to click on your token, have the 3 buttons up, and then click actually.
So it comes up as right.
Click right on the number 6.
Got
there
it.
you go.
Got it.
Fantastic.
Yep. I forgot the minus. Carry on.
Yep. Tanza. You sure you want to date a Jasumian?
Say that again.
Are you sure you want to date a Jasumian?
It doesn't appear to me that Barsoomians date. They more court violently, if you will.
What would you like to
But I'm going to sort of look at him oddly, and then I say, is it too hard to simply use the ladder?
do?
Is using the ladder too hard? And then I'm just going to use, and then I'm just going to pointedly sort of start climbing the ladder and look back at him and say, "Are you coming?"
All right, please do a might daring test for climbing the ladder successfully, Tanza.
Might and daring. Okay, let me just remind myself.
DC of 1.
Okay. Might. All right, so that's 13.
And can we, Max? Would you be okay if we said that Patterson blushes at that admonishment?
That he blushed? I would imagine so.
Okay, what'd you roll? Let's see here. There we go. 2 successes, fantastic. You generate 1 momentum, and you're able to climb up to the top. So you go ahead and put your token right next to Chad up on the top level there. And again, Tanza now sees exactly what Chad sees. A lot of rubble at the right before you, but you would be able to scramble over top the rubble, and you see that there's a corridor, and you can see this little triangular statue type of thing there. Seems to be
Really pretty.
Intersection ahead of you. Okay, so did you get your momentum okay?
Yep, I did.
Okay, fantastic. And Had is just along for the ride, and he's actually going to go and follow Pamelia, because all this jumping and falling off the ladder is just like, he's just shaking his head, and he's much more interested in Pamelia. And he's right behind Pamelia now.
Hang on, guys. I need to go get a drink. Hold on. One sec.
But we're gonna carry on. We're gonna carry on though, because we don't have that much time. Okay, so let's go back up and Chad. You and Tanza are at the top of the platform there. Did you want to move forward, crawling over the rubble to the intersection before you, or not?
Okay, I'm back.
Chad? Norm?
I think I want to move. I want to move to.
Okay, well, go ahead and move your token forward if you like.
Yeah. Let's go up there, I think.
Okay, let me show you what you see.
Something's going to happen eventually here.
Why would you say that?
Oh, you know. All fun and games until you roll a what?
Okay, so you are at the intersection of several hallways / corridors. Before you, over in this direction.
It
Okay.
looks like weird,
You,
like LSD trip.
you see
Going
some kind of
stairs. And
figure.
yeah, I see like a ghost figure.
Well, it's some kind of figure that seems to be on some kind of
Dais.
podium. It's probably a statue. You see some stairways over here on this side, and you
Yeah.
see a hallway here.
I think I want to go right. Or is that my move? Go anymore.
Well, you can go a little bit more.
Yeah, let's go right here. But let's go to the foot of the stairs.
Okay. The stairs seem to lead up to some kind of platform type area, but you can't see beyond the stairs because of the elevation. Okay. Now, did you want to say anything, shout to anybody, or are you being stealthy, or what are you doing?
I think for now, let's be stealthy. Quiet, obviously.
Okay. We'll move on to Zax.
Okay.
What happened to Zax? There's Zax. Zax was at the pyramid still. Dean.
Sorry, I was on mute. Dax is watching people move off in two different directions, shakes his head, and pulls out the only flashlight we have and turns it on.
Oh, and by the way, I'll just... I did bring your flashlight. Let me just bring it up to you. There you go. And there's your trusted flashlight.
Okay, and Zax and the flashlight are going to go into this room over here.
Okay.
And take a look around.
Okay, before you again seems to be bookshelves along the edges of the room, stone tables that are in various states of repair, disintegration. There's a box of debris right in front of you, boxes of debris. On the shelves, there seems to be old scrolls and tomes, again, seeming in very deteriorated condition.
Okay. I'd like to look and see if there's anything that seems to be in better condition than anything else, and and see if I can read it.
Move your token to whichever bookshelf you want to investigate.
Okay, so these like little cube-like things are the bookshelves on the edge?
Yeah, along the edge, these things here.
Okay.
Okay.
Over here? Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to come over here.
Yep. The bookshelves are against the walls. The things that are in the middle of the floor are all stone tables, study tables. Go ahead and roll investigation. So again, reason and passion.
Okay. God. Here we go with my 20s again. Oh, ooh, yay!
Huzzah! Yeah, you actually, as you're going through, everything crumbles to the touch except for one.
Hey, Vic, we've lost you. Or at least I've lost you.
Say that
Yeah, I
again.
don't hear somebody.
Okay, sorry.
Somebody's gone.
Sorry. Yes, so you have 2 successes. You gain 1 momentum. Everything that you touch, all the scrolls and whatnot, crumble to your touch, except for one particular tome that seems to be made out of some kind of hide that's been treated to withstand the test of time. And it has on it some kind of weird symbol, which is the same symbol that you find on the pyramid. As you open it, so again, that symbol that was on the hitch, on the pyramid, this is emblazoned on the leather cover, and as you open it, there are pages, but in a language you don't know or you don't understand.
Okay. Okay, I put the book in my bag.
Okay. And that brings us to Pamelia.
Amelia.
Sorry. Just a lot of noise in the background. Sorry about that. Yeah. Could I do an investigation on the books as well?
Yeah, sure. So reason and passion.
Reason and passion. That's 11. Okay, one fail and one success.
Great. So again, a similar thing. The scrolls disintegrate. You find a tome. I always screw those up. And on that tome, you see the depiction of a figure that seems strangely like the statue that you discovered in the Banff cave. That huge statue, remember, that had the tiara with the gems in it? It looks exactly like that.
Okay. I will put that in my backpack.
Okay. And again, the language inside you can't decipher.
Yeah.
Okay. And that brings us to Patterson.
Right, I shall climb up the ladder.
Great. Might and daring, DC 1 if you're climbing.
Now, let me just a second. I think that's same as before.
Yeah, I think it's still 16 for you. Might and daring, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, there we go.
Huzzah! You clamber up the ladder with no problem. And you come up, you see the rubble, and you can easily make it across the rubble and join Tanza if you like.
Yeah, sorry, I lost what I see the rubble and...
You can clamber across over top the rubble if you like and join Tanza.
Hello again, my dear.
Nice use of your earthly muscles. Getting over that rubble.
Well, I thought I would do as you instructed.
Okay, Tanza.
I think I'm gonna explore this way. Oh, I get out where I edit token thing. I keep on grabbing that. I'm gonna see if this goes up here because I'm kind of curious to look at the library too. But I want to, like, I heard them talking about it over the thing. I want to see if there's any way down there going this direction.
Well, you wouldn't have heard anything because you're quite far away from them, and they're in a totally different chamber.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's quite high. I was just wondering what our objectives were here. This is speaking to the two people that can hear me. It's just, well, for me, one city on Barsoom is just as good as another city on Barsoom. But it does occur to me the rest of you are all from different places. And now we've are far away from the slavers and find ourselves in a very different situation. I wonder what we hope to achieve here.
Well, so maybe he asks that to Tanza. You know.
Well, both of you, really, yeah.
Yeah, Chad can hear you. I mean,
Okay.
You're not trying to be stealthy, right? You're just saying
No.
this.
Yeah.
Well, I come up to him and I make a suggestion. While gazing right into his eyes, that I say, well, you should come to Helium. Not only do there be a greater chance of people understanding English there, but you could meet the warlord and might even arrange to have you meet Ulysses Patterson, the other people who've been here, and maybe you could learn the benefits of Barsoom. learn what Barsoom can offer.
If that is where you go, then I will follow.
Good. It's settled then. You're coming to you're coming to Helium. Once we figure out our way out of this puzzle, we'll try and find a way to get there. Unfortunately, my geography is not as good as my English, so we'll have to figure that out as we go along the story.
What do you say, Chad? Will you join us?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, so that was Tanz's turn to have that whole engaging discussion with all you guys.
Move your stuff up. Organist desk before I forget.
And Had is going to proceed to
Oh, she'll come.
the supposed library study area, but he is going to take up a defensive posture at the base of the stairs while his comrades are investigating. And then he says out loud, I don't like the feel of this place.
You mean I have a bad feeling about this?
I mean exactly what he said. And he looks at both of them. I don't think we should tarry that long. And I hear noises ahead and above us. And he pulls out his sword. Okay, and so that's Had's turn, and then we'll go back to Chad.
I think I want to climb up these stairs, I think.
Okay.
Here.
Can you do roll me a perception check? Which is going to be, what would it be? It'd be, again, reason and empathy?
Empathy and what is
Reason?
Reason B12. So GD20.
Yeah, 2d20.
14.
Okay. Okay. Well, everything's quiet. And let me show you what you see. You come up and you find another level. In this level is a large statue. Appears to be a man. It's quite large, actually. It's about 20 feet high. And it's in the corner. You see pillars upholding the roof of this chamber, and you see some more rubble on the ground. What would you like to do?
I'd like stand here so I can see. What is that on the right over there? Sorry?
This is a statue.
A statue, and then straight ahead is one.
Straight ahead is the chamber with the pillars, and then to your left seems to be a staircase going up further. So this is a statue.
Let's go perception. Or is that my turn, right?
No, you can do something.
I almost like to do a perception check on the statue. See what I can do here. Attributes. You can do. Well, I want to do a trap-related test to see if it's. No, I can't remember what that was. Trap would be cunning, maybe, and
cunning is when you're trying to injure others. So it'd be reason for sure.
Empathy, and reason, maybe.
Well, again, I think for perception investigation, it should be passion because it's your curiosity, right?
Passion. Okay, so passion would be 4, and then curiosity would be passion. And reason then 11, right?
Reason and 11. Passion, yeah.
Be 11.
So your target number is what, 11? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. 17 and 20. So that's a bad one.
Well, you recognize that this is a statue in the same kind of artistic style of many of the deserted cities of Barsoom. It's definitely from the Ovar period or era of Barsoom, and it's depicting, which is interesting about the statue is that it is actually bald, which you've never seen before, but your mind goes back to what you know of Therns, that Therns are actually bald and wear blonde-haired wigs. And Therns were the priesthood of the fake, Isis. And they have a very bad reputation, although the Therns actually did have some Therns up in Okar as well. There was a great deal of followers of the Therns in their cult of Isis. So this is quite interesting for you to see a bald-headed statue of a white-skinned ovarian type figure. And so you start touching, kind of pressing at it and kind of running your hands over the harness on the statue. And as you do so, the statue tips over and falls on top of you as part of the complication. Correct, because you rolled a 20. And that means Vicky gets to roll a d6. And you get 1 point of injury as the statue topples onto you and pins you to the ground. You are now prone, pinned under by the statue. Huzzah! That's what you get for fingering boys. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Let's move on to then Zax. Back into the library.
Okay, so I take Had's warning seriously, and in one hand I've got the flashlight still, the other I'm going to pull out my pistol just in case.
Nice.
And I would like to slowly and quietly walk up these stairs that we're seeing in the room here.
Exciting. Right on. And let's just say between you and Pamela, you guys have gone through every bookshelf, and that's all you guys were able to find. Because you guys both did a good job on your investigations. And so I will clear off that. And you can actually go ahead. Let's see. How far up would you like to go?
I'd like to go. My flashlight will go first. I'll go just so that I'm kind of like standing.
My flashlight will sprout legs and start walking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, since it's not attached to me, I'm just going to go so that I can kind of put my hands on the edge and just kind of peek over the top stairs. I don't want to go all the way up. I just want to kind of look up there.
Well, you see a landing and you see another flight of stairs, just as it's depicted there in the map. So you can get to the top. You can actually get, if you like, you can get to where you're right at the curve in front of Tanza here, if you like.
Okay. Well, I've got the flashlight, so I should be able to see kind of what's happening down there.
Okay, Tanza, roll a perception check for me, would you? So that, again, is going to be reason plus passion, DC of 1, please. Tanza?
Say that again?
Please roll a perception check, which would be reason and passion with a difficulty of 1.
Okay. Reason and passion. Sorry, I lost my chicken scratch, which has all of that stuff. So that's 10.
Okay, 2d20, please.
Okay. Am I seeing if I hear him calling for help? Now he's pinned under that statue.
Can you just roll the perception check for me first, please? Thank you. 2 successes. Okay, so you hear and you see the light flash of Zax as he's coming up. And so he doesn't surprise you at all. And as you see the light and you see him coming around the corner, you're not startled at all. So
no, I hear him. He's kind of noisy. Firstborns being a rather self-important race who they never feel the need to really mask their self. They're not very sneaky.
Yep. So add 1 momentum because you did a successful check. And Zax, you clearly see Tanza standing right there at the intersection of the corridors.
So I just called back down to Had and Pamalia and say, you guys can come on up. Yeah, I see the rest of the party. Or I see Tanza, at least.
Okay, so
no,
Pamalia?
I wonder, since I'm here, Or yeah, sorry, it's not my turn yet. Sorry.
Pamelia?
Okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't muted. I do the same. Put the book back and go up the stairs.
I thought you put you're taking the book, or no? You want to leave the book there?
I'm gonna leave the book there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The book of the statue will remain in the library.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to do anything or say anything to anybody? Because you can now see them now.
No, that's it.
Okay, and just to make things easier, I'm just going to have Had follow up behind you guys, even though it's not his turn, but just so that Tanza and everyone can role play with the whole group. So after Pamelia, we have Patterson.
Okay. So he's just fallen. This statue's just fallen on him.
Up chat. You guys can't see anything. If you want to roll a perception check to see if you heard anything.
Well, I was more just. I would have heard it, right?
Well, that's why we're going to have you roll perception.
Oh, right.
Because okay, I mean, his muscles. He could try and see if he could lift it.
Well, I don't know it's happened yet, but yeah.
Yeah. Again, what you guys know and what your character knows are different things, right?
Different, yeah.
So what are we talking about? Reason and passion?
Yes, please. DC 1.
Now, this is that's what God modding is realizing what the difference is between what your character knows and what you know. Not pretending to be a deity, as I got told in another game when my character was an ex-goddess.
How's that for you?
That's good. You actually heard the crash of the statue falling to the ground on top of Chad, so you did hear that.
In that case, if you don't mind, I'll run up there.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay.
And as you run up and you see Chad pinned down to the ground by this giant statue, this big, beautiful, busty, bald guy who's super beefy. It's a good looking.
Hang in there, my friend. Hang in there. I'll lift it off you. Can I try and lift it off?
Yep, please do. So it's going to be might and let's see, what would might and what else? I guess maybe reason to make sure that you're not going to hurt Chad as you're lifting it off in the least dangerous way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Right, I'm on it. Just give me a minute.
Would it help if I was to offer him some of my momentum? Can I do that? To sort of give him a better chance.
Yeah, and the rules say that if you have more momentum than is in your pool at the end of your turn, you should decide to either use it or give it to someone else at the end of your turn. Now, you're not at your max. No one's at their max yet, so it's in your personal pool right now. I know we've kind of played fast and loose about it. The rules do say that you share it usually at the end of your particular turn.
Okay.
How do you guys want to do it, though? I mean, I don't mind if I actually don't mind if you share it. I think that's probably going to make a more interesting use of momentum. So we can have a vote. Anyone opposed to being loosey-goosey with sharing momentum? If
I think we
not,
should
go
share
ahead.
it. Why not?
Sure.
Okay.
So you're going to lend...
I'm gonna give Patterson 2 of my momentum.
Why,
Great.
thank you.
Fantastic.
To give him a better chance.
Yeah, we can...
Great.
I don't know how that translates to roleplay. I don't know if that just means that I'm standing there cheerleading with pom-poms, or if I'm actually...
Well,
I don't think I'm actually...
It's not your turn.
Lift.
So, you can just... Patterson would now roll, instead of 2d20, he would roll 4d20. And again, you can use momentum to increase your d20 up to the limit of 5. And then if you could just remove 2 of the momentum from your momentum pool, Tanza, that would be fantastic. And we'll see. 4d20 you get to roll with your target number of 12.
There we go.
Thanks for the cheerleading. We don't really have cheerleaders here. God bless America is all I can say. Here we go.
Especially now.
Wow, fantastic. And you only needed 1. So that means you get to keep 2 of your momentum. So Patterson grabbed 2 momentum from the deck, and you have, with your mighty Jasumia muscles, carefully lifted the statue and leaned it against the wall far from Chad where it won't do any more harm to your banana friend.
Oh, me, Taz. Oh, sorry, wrong world.
Oh, I love it.
So don't forget to grab 2 momentum, okay, Patterson? And
Okay, yeah.
And we'll move right over to Tanza then. So you can
Yep.
now run up, Tanza.
Okay, so Tanza runs up just in time to see him lift that off, and she's never quite. She's seen Jasumian agility now, like when he swept her up last time and jumped across. This is the first time she's, I guess, really sort of seen a lot of like what Jasumian muscles can do. So she's very impressed. She kind of starts to wonder why the Thurn statue would be portrayed as being tall. This is very unusual because most of the time the Thurn statues, they're portrayed with their like luxuriant blonde hair.
Well, they're wigs that they usually wear, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she's going to do some more exploration. So go up here.
I've just realised the ferns are Donald Trump.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. I
Sorry.
like it. I ship it. I totally ship it. So I think they have a better class.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
I don't think anybody wants to see Donald Trump dressed though. Like
Sorry, go on, Vic.
all the harnesses, you know,
Yeah.
the golden
Go on,
harnesses.
Vic, sorry.
Harnesses and
okay.
golden trout.
So Tanza, I'm just, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna have to limit you to like moving up the stairs, and then if you don't mind going by Patterson and Chad with the whole statue thing.
Okay. So she just sort of explores the statue, sort of looks at it like, you know, why is it? Although she doesn't touch it because like that's got Chad in danger.
Yeah.
So she just kind of does exploration. Maybe she can find out some more about it. So I'm gonna roll
a knowledge check.
a knowledge check.
Okay.
Let's see, what should I use? So probably
reason for sure.
Reason and cunning. How about reason and cunning?
Cunning is usually, again, it's usually for when you're trying to harm someone else. So attacking, insulting, that sort of thing. At least
Empathy?
that's how it's described. Empathy is usually when you're trying to read somebody else or charm somebody. But hey, you know, let's try empathy just for fun, for something different. Hey?
Empathy and what? I mean, reason and what? Just reason?
Empathy and reason sounds okay to me.
All right. 13. No, 12. Terrible at math today. Who needs math?
Okay, so 2d20 with the target number of 12. Does that sound right? All right, what'd you get? 1 success. Yes, you notice on the harness of the statues that there seems to be some markings that are common for lesser, not lesser, but higher Therns of the High Priest Order. Much like, what's his name? Matang? What's his name?
Matas Chang.
Matas Chang, yes. Very similar. This individual that you see depicted here most likely was a high priest of Isis.
Mark Strong.
Okay, and okay, and we'll move on to Panzori Genesing. We'll move back to Chad.
Okay.
That is not the kind of man sandwich you were expecting, was it?
No, it was not.
No.
So maybe I should back up a bit. Let's go this way, I think, up to the stairs.
Okay.
See what the stairs is going to bring me. Okay.
Oh, stop. So as you stop, go back.
Okay.
Go back. So as you taunt the stairs, you see a small little figure with glowing eyes that as soon as you approach, scurries off into the distance.
Oh dear.
I'm going to give you the brief look. Can you see the brief look?
Brief look. I don't see a brief look. Oh, I see now. Okay, so
And
there.
it scurries off into the distance as you get closer.
I saw like a blue thing that was.
Here, I'll give you a brief look again.
Okay.
And then it scurries away.
Okay. Didn't look good.
It was two glowing red eyes in the darkness.
That's all I saw was two red eyes.
Yeah, as soon as you approach, it scurried away.
Could be a friend. Somebody just got a knock at the door, I hear.
That was scurrying noise. I was trying to do homemade sound effects.
For
Doesn't
you?
work.
I thought that was somebody's actually knock.
Yeah, so there you go. So you actually come to kind of this platform. You see two other kind of smaller statue-like things.
Yeah.
Some rubble.
Could I? Do you have enough move to approach the statue?
For sure. You're feeling
But
lucky today.
I should do a perception check.
Sure.
Let's do a perception check. That's right. Reason, and dare.
Yeah, usually reason and passion for curiosity, but
passion would be 11.
if you want to try something different like empathy the way Tanza did,
that would be a 12.
I'm open to that.
Yeah, so that would be a 12.
Reason and passion.
So let's roll. We get that. A 7 and a 4, so it's 2 successes.
Great, you generate 1 momentum. And as you're looking, these are smaller figures that seem attached to their podiums that they are standing on. And they seem to depict 2 female figures, again, in the tradition of the Ovarian age of ancient Barsoom.
Of course they're female figures. You're the one that should be... when it's a man, I get stung. That's the way life is.
And with the success, you can see that they're wearing the trappings of a high priestess.
They're wearing what?
They're wearing the harness and the trappings of a high priestess, but not of Isis.
Your microphone is cutting off something.
Okay. Sorry, I'll repeat that.
That's okay.
So 2 female figures that are different from one another. Each are wearing a harness and trappings of a high priestess, but with no indication that it is of Isis. In fact, it looks like they're both of different deities. Perhaps some other pantheon than what modern day Barsoom is used to. I hope you guys got all that. Okay, and we'll just move on from there then, Chad, and we'll move on to Zach's.
Okay, watching Zach's, having seen everybody kind of go running up the stairs, I'm just going to proceed as far as I can go up towards this platform. Of course, taking the flashlight with me.
Okay, and maybe we'll just... Pamela, are you okay if we just speed you up along and move you up there as well? Because this is really going slow. Well, even as we wait for Pamela to respond, we'll just get you all 3 of you rush up the stairs all at once on Zach's turn. And you see, Chad kind of standing up, and you see Tanza and Patterson doing their thing with the statue, and you see Chad moving up into the other corridor. So you guys can now take your full turn from here, and we'll just get you closer to the action. So go ahead, Zach. Actually, start your turn from now.
Okay. I'm going to go up to the top of the stairs and take a look with the flashlight. Take a good look at the statue.
Okay, and you see exactly what I described to Chad. Don't even do an investigation check because that's all you're going to find out.
Okay, great.
And with your flashlight going down, further down the corridor, this is what you would see down the corridor. You see that it kind of has an L-shaped turn, and it has a little stairway leading down somewhere.
Okay, sounds good.
Pamela.
Miller.
Pamela.
Hello.
Pamela.
Hello.
Okay, she's going up into the chamber as well.
Sorry, it was muted.
No problem. You can go further if you like. If you're
Sure.
not gonna stay and investigate the
No.
statutes, because.
I'm not saying to investigate this.
And if you guys do have your weapons out, please tell me. If not, then I'm gonna assume you don't.
Zach still has the pistol out.
Okay.
Yeah, I always like to get my weapon out.
And I have
Pamela.
my sword out.
So you see a stairway going down in this direction, down to your left.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think. It's still dim light, so I'm not going to show you too much of it because you don't have the flashlight.
No.
Did you want to move even further? Did you want to go down the stairs? Do you want to stay here?
No, I want to move further.
Okay, which way?
Yes,
Right there?
this way.
Okay. And as you move further, it reveals another staircase before you.
Okay.
So, anything you want to do at this particular point?
I just yell back that there's two stairwell, one going up, one going down.
Okay. And Had's just going to follow you.
Okay.
His sword is going to be out. He seems to have decided that you might be someone worth being a bodyguard for, so he seems to be kind of sticking to you like glue like that, tag teaming, as is his soldier training. It is now 2 o'clock. Did anybody need to take a 5-minute break for snacks or a bathroom break?
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone's good with that? So just come back in 5 minutes as soon as you can, and then we'll start off with the next round.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.